Hello friends, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video on my channel. Thanks for being here. So first with the look, I already did the other eye off camera, and so then I'm going to show you how I did the other eye. And I'm just starting off with filling in my brows just a little bit. I've been kind of practicing this. I haven't been doing too much, but just filling them in a little bit and then blending them out to make sure it's nice and blended. Not too harsh, so that's what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to move on to priming my eye, and I'm just going to clean up around my brow and then also put concealer all over my lid to prime. So now I'm going to go in with this cute little tiny sponge. I had the bigger version of this and one of my dogs destroyed it, unfortunately, but I like this little sponge. It's like perfect for blending out concealer on the lid and also under the eyes. It just literally fits in that area really perfectly, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then after that, I'm going to set my brow in place with my clear brow gel. Okay, so from there I'm just gonna go ahead and set my lid. That way it's nice and smooth and I can blend the shadows on top of it really nicely and easily. Okay, so time to start on the eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go in with this palette from Juvias place. They have really good eyeshadows and their palettes are so affordable. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this like peachy kind of corally shade in my crease, and I'm just gonna blend that all the way out. I'm gonna use this as my transition shade and just make sure it's nice and blended out and blown out, so that way the other colors can blend nicely on top. And then after that shade, I'm going to go into this Morphe palette real quick just for this one shade. It's kind of like a hot pink fuchsia kind of color, and I'm just going to blend a little bit of that into the crease just to add a bit more darkness, but also a little more of a pinky tone to the look. And I'm just going to get a little bit on the brush, not too much, and go ahead and blend that right underneath the corally shade that we just went into. I'm not blending it all the way out as far as I did the other one. And then after that, I'm gonna go in with this brown color, and I'm just gonna deepen up the crease even more, so that way whenever we cut the crease, it can create a more defined line. So I'm just putting that in there like in the very I guess like the bottom portion of the crease, like right where the socket is. And so I'm just going to blend that out and make sure it's nice and blended in with the other colors as well. Okay, so for this part I went ahead and cut my crease, and I didn't cut my crease all the way across, but I did do most of my lid. You'll see whenever I'm done. I actually ended up doing it off camera because I was having a little bit of trouble, but yeah, you'll see whenever I'm finished how it came out. Okay, so then I'm going to go with this shimmery shade all over where I put that concealer, and like I said, you can see here I didn't cut my whole crease, but I just did most of my lid, since I do just want the middle to be shimmery, if that makes sense. It didn't come out perfectly even with the other eye, but that's okay. I'm still kind of practicing doing cut creases. Getting them to match perfectly is really hard, and I did have a little bit of trouble with that, but it's okay. So now we're just going to start making our way to filling in the outer and inner corner of the look. So first I went in with the corally shade and just started blending that color into the part of my crease, into the part of my lid that's cut. You can see here I just kind of buffed it into that other shimmery shade on the outer corner, and then I do go in and do the same thing on the inner corner as well. So I literally just went in the same order. So now we're gonna move on to the pink color, and then after we get the pink color blended in with the coral, not as blown out, again just a little more defined, after we go in with that color, I'm gonna go in with the, I don't know why I say we like if like if we're both doing our makeup together. I mean, maybe we are, that'd be pretty cool, but after I go in with the pink color, I'm gonna go in with the brown shade as well, just to deepen up the inner and the outer corner, and really just making sure that all those shades are really nicely blended together and blended in with the shimmery shade in the middle of the lid as well. Okay, so now for my favorite part, I'm gonna go in with this really pretty eyeshadow. It's almost like a cream, but it's not quite a cream. I don't know, it's a really interesting texture, but it's pretty much like a eyeshadow topper, so it's pretty sparkly and it's just really pretty. And so I just added a little bit on top of that center shade, just to add a little bit more sparkle and make it look even prettier. Next, I went ahead and added some eyeliner to my tight line. I like to do this because I feel like it helps make the falsies look even better. Like whenever I put on the falsies, if that skin under there is showing, it kind of makes it look kind of weird. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like it just helps them blend even better. And then after that, I'm gonna go in with my liquid liner. And I'm not going to do too big of a wing, but I'm going to do like a pretty good size wing. I feel like it just makes the look even better, but of course you don't have to go in with liner if you don't want to. Next, before I went in with falsies, I just added a really light layer of mascara to my top lashes. I didn't go in on the bottom yet because I'm going to finish up the lower lash line after I do my face. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with the light layer of that. And then I'm going to put on these falsies right here. And first, I like to blow on them for like 30 seconds. I was watching a movie, so I'm not crazy. I don't just laugh by myself. I mean, sometimes I do, that's okay if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But then I just go ahead and apply my lashes like you see here. So once those are on, it's time to move on to this face, and I'm gonna go ahead as always and do a little dance. Oh, and then I went in with moisturizer just to get my skin ready. My sunburn is getting way better. I feel like my skin's going back to its normal color, which, I mean, that's okay, I guess. I was kind of liking it being a little darker, but it's okay. But the good thing is that my skin is not peeling anymore, so it wasn't all crusty no more because I've been moisturizing like crazy. So I just did that there, and then I went in with my primer. You already know what primer I'm using, my e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer as always, and then we will move on to foundation. So my skin is going back to its normal shade that it was before, but it's not quite there yet. So I just mixed my shade that I usually use with a little bit of a darker shade of foundation, and then I went ahead and applied that all over my face. And then I'm just gonna go in with my Real Techniques sponge and blend all of that out till it's nice and seamless. After that's nice and blended, I'm going to go in with my concealer and just put that under my eyes, on my nose, my chin, my forehead, you know, the usual. And then I'm just going to go in with the same sponge and get that nice and blended out as well. And whenever I do my concealer, I like to go around the edges and also kind of blend it into my foundation. That way there's no like weird lines or anything, and everything just looks nice and blended. I'm just going in literally with the tiniest dot of a little bit of a lighter shade, and whenever I blend this out, I put it there so it can just add like a tiny bit more coverage and also just brighten up that area a little bit, since I do have dark circles. And so whenever I blend it out with the sponge, I barely apply any pressure to blend it out, because that leaves a lot more coverage. Like the sponge doesn't soak up as much coverage when you apply lighter pressure. So that's what I did there. And then here I'm going to go in with this setting powder, and I'm only putting that in the areas that I applied my concealer. And I actually think I forgot to show it, but I went in with my usual powder on the rest of my face, just because this powder is a little bit of a lighter shade, and so that's why I only put it where I put that concealer, so it could be just a little bit brighter than the rest of my face. Okay, and then for the lower lash line, pretty much all I did was go in with that coral shade, and I blended that out on my lower lash line, and then added a teeny tiny bit of brown on the outer corner of my lower lash line. And then I went ahead and highlighted my brow bone and my inner corner before moving on to the rest of the face. Okay, time for bronzer, and I'm just going in with my favorite bronzer from BH Cosmetics, and then I blend that out all over my like the usual areas, like the perimeter of my face. And then after I go in with this one, I actually went in with the Anastasia one and contoured a little bit more. Okay, and for blush, I actually went in with this palette that I haven't used in a while, and I just mixed two of the shades and put that on my cheeks and my nose as usual. And then as always, I have to go in with a blush topper, so I'm just using my favorite one from Wet n Wild. It's their highlight in the shade Crown of My Canopy. And then my highlight, I went in with this palette from Morphe. This is a really good palette. I like all the shades that are in there. I can't use all of them on my face because some of them are too dark, but I also like using them as eyeshadows or like an inner corner brow bone highlight, things like that. But yeah, I just went ahead and applied my highlight to my face. So before lips, I go ahead and set my face with the Morphe setting spray, just so everything looks nice and dewy and all the powders can go ahead and set into the skin. Okay, so I was a little extra when it came to my lips. I actually ended up going in with a lip liner and then a liquid lipstick and then a lip gloss. You do not need to do this many steps. Honestly, I could have probably just gone in with the gloss because I feel like the color wouldn't have been that much different, but that was just kind of the process. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do for lips, but I was pretty happy with the final shade. I just wanted something kind of light, nude, simple, and glossy. Okay, so I really thought I was done, and then I realized I didn't put lower lash mascara on, so I did that, and then I just made my hair look kind of cute a little bit. But I really like how this look came out, and so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video as well. Stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!